officers who were serving a warrant, and a warrant is not a license to kill or a license to shoot. The Supreme Court in Tennessee versus Garner said that when a suspect, even if you have a suspect and he's fleeing, it does not give the license to the officers to kill. And they were unloading bullets in a residential area. The family just went in to see possibly 20 minutes of a 2-hour tape. Today is the 20th day. That's 480 hours since this young man was killed, shot in the back, no gun found, no drugs found, shot 4 times in the arm, once in the back. 480 hours, and they get to see 20 minutes. They saw 20 seconds, now 20 minutes of a 20-hour tape. A 2-hour tape, excuse me. This is cruel and unusual punishment. Their loved one is in the grave, and yet the tapes are still being hidden. Their son, their nephew, their brother, their grandson, their father is in the grave. His body is hidden from us, and the fullness of these tapes are still hidden from the public, from you, but from the family, from the lawyers. We have one clear message. This DA, this judge, this sheriff has proven themselves inept, incompetent, and incapable of handling this case. We know that if this had been any other situation, the case would have been out quickly, like in Columbia, Ohio. They all need to be recused. We need a special prosecutor. We need federal pattern and practice review, and we need it now. What are they hiding? What do they have to hide? Someone said if Andrew was guilty of something, arrest him and take him before a trial and have it in a court of law, because you're still innocent before proven guilty. But to kill a young man driving away with a back shot, and then to hide the tapes 20 days since it happened today. Somebody ought to do the math on how many minutes that is and how many seconds that is, and look at the comparison to the number of minutes that it's been since he died to the measly 20 minutes of a 2-hour tape they're going to see today. This DA, this judge, this sheriff, and all those participating in it are inept, incompetent, and incapable of handling this. This cannot be dealt with without a special prosecutor and full pattern and practice review from the FBI. Dr. Spearman.
Thank you, Bishop Barber. I am the Reverend Dr. T. Anthony Spearman, the president of the North Carolina NAACP and a past president of the North Carolina Council of Churches. What we are witnessing is very, very traumatic. I know if I can feel and sense the trauma that's occurring, that exponentially is induced upon this family. And I've been making every effort that I can to console the family each day along the way, because each day along the way that they are not exposed to the truth is worse than the day before.
That's right.
And certainly it is an abomination, as far as I'm concerned, on the legal and the law enforcement agencies in this state, not only in Pasquotank County, but in this state, that they would deny the right of families to be exposed to the body cams and the dash cams of their family, or the members of their families who have been murdered, who have been slaughtered. Andrew, as far as we know right now, was slaughtered. And I don't care how you try to whisk that away. It is wrong, and it can never be right. Transparency precedes trust.
That's right.
And these family members certainly deserve to be able to trust those who are sent to protect them. but those who are sent to protect them oftentimes are sent into our communities to patrol us. They protect those on the opposite side of the city, but they patrol those of us who look like me. And that is an appellation. That is wrong. And I hope and pray that today, now Bishop Barber said there's supposed to be 20 minutes. That's an exaggeration, I want you to know, because I'm hearing that it's actually 16 minutes.
Oh, they cut it down.
It's less than 20 minutes. It's 16 minutes of footage that they are going to see. But out of 2 hours, that's another snippet. 20 seconds was a snippet. 20 minutes or 16 minutes is another snippet. And so we're here to hopefully be able to console the family once they have viewed these tapes, once they've witnessed what has transpired to their family member. I know that the trauma is not going to go away no time soon, but at least the community can be here to console them, to comfort them in their time of grief, and that's what we are here to be able to do. And I hope that you all as media would begin to make sure that you are sending a message, a powerful media message, that this is something that we cannot allow to continue in the state of North Carolina. George Floyd's little daughter stood forth and said, "My daddy is changing the world." Prayerfully, Andrew Brown Jr. is going to change North Carolina, because there are numerous accounts that have flown beneath the radar of African American men, right, Mexican American men, and Native American men who have been slaughtered at the hands of what I call lawless enforcement. That's what they are. They're lawless enforcement. And we need to call them out for what they are. That's right. It was what we call memory murder, a muscle memory murder that killed Andrew, because there was no good reason for it.
That's right. There are a few things Dr. Spearman is so right you should know, those of you that are not from eastern North Carolina. He and I know of at least 5 men in eastern North Carolina that were prosecuted and found guilty for murder only to be exonerated years later. We fought for them, and they're now out of prison. You need to do an expose of this part of the country. Yeah. And some of them still don't have their pardons. The governor has still not pardoned them, even though the system has said we were wrong 20 years ago, 40 years ago. That's where we're living. We're living in a place where you just heard another lie. They said 20 minutes, now it's 16. Think about the lies you've heard. The sheriff said the SBI said he couldn't do it. That was a lie. SBI said no. They said 20 minutes. Now we're hearing 16 minutes. The DA, when he went to trial on the motion about the tapes, he said to the judge that he had looked at him and it looked like a good shoot, and that was basically the rationale for not releasing the tape. But the DA is not the defense lawyer for the police. The DA is an elected lawyer of the people. That's right. He's not supposed to make that judgment call. That's right. Not supposed to make that judgment call. They've said that they had to wait. No, they didn't. It almost immediately they could have gone to the judge. That's all the North Carolina law requires. And there's a bill right now that's trying to get through that says it should only take 48 hours, and all of it should be released to everybody, and it didn't make crossover.
But that legislation is now increased to 5 days.
To 5 days.
It's gone from 48 hours. That's what they were asking, but they're fighting against that so much. Now it's 5 days. Yeah. 5 days before footage is going to be released.
You should ask, why is it that the judge took his Facebook page down? I think News One reported some stuff about what he had on that Facebook page and who he paid homage to that were extremist Republicans. The DA switched from Democrat to Republican. We know most Republicans are anti the George Floyd bill, anti-police accountability. These are the things that need to be examined. Yeah. And we know when we talk about changing the world, as he said, one case is not going to do it. 2 cases until we have a systems change. And the system change must be, there must be truth, transparency, and when it is shown that there is enough evidence that points to the possibility of murder or execution, there must be arrest. And then there must be prosecution without immunity. And we must have guarantees that if the state and local won't prosecute, the federal will prosecute, and they will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And then there must be, when they're found guilty, imprisonment. And then after there's imprisonment, there must be payment. And the payment can't just come from the taxpayer paying for the insurance company. These cops need to be able to be sued. And police departments ought to have to lose when they harbor, because somebody is giving them a sense of immunity.
That's right.
That if I do this, if I roll up like this, I'm going to be covered. And then there must be full pattern and practice. And in this case, if the DA covers 7 counties, then the federal government needs to investigate all 7.
All 7.
All of them.
That's right.
Every county.
Right.
If there were officers from Dare County and Pasquotank involved in this, first of all, why? Why 2 sets of sheriff deputies? Why? These are the kinds of questions that must be probed, especially when you're in the South and in eastern North Carolina and in the Black Belt. Why is it that the sheriff departments don't look like the percentage of the people in these counties? That's not representative in terms of black, white, brown. These are the kinds of questions. I see my good friend James Sears over there, I believe. These are the questions that have to be asked. It's not just cut and dry. Why is it that there was so much talk immediately to try to degrade Andrew? What are these sheriff's records? What are these deputies' records? Blackwater has a training camp. It used to be called Blackwater. No longer, I think it's Amicus or something now. What is it? Academy. How far is it? About 20 miles, if that all. They have are they training these deputies? Is that the reason they rolled up like the military in Iraq or Iran in this community? Is that why they had all the weapons and the rifles and the full body gear? Were they trained by formerly Blackwater? Yeah. Why is Blackwater in eastern North Carolina hiding down here in the eastern part of the state, undercover? Yeah. Those are the kinds of questions that must be asked in the midst of this case. Why did they roll up on this brother? What did Andrew know? I don't know, but what did he know? What did they know he knew? Huh? What did he know that they knew he knew? I don't know. I'm just asking.
That's right.
Because something doesn't add up here.
Right. That's right.
That one man is basically hunted by 10 or more police officers.
Good question.
Did the chief of police in the city know there was going to be a raid in his city? And that they were going to use a tactical like SWAT team? These are the questions. And the reason they're getting raised now is because, see, there's a new South arising.
That's right.
We don't bow no more.
That's right.
We don't grovel anymore.
No.
We ain't scared no more.
That's right. That's right.
That's why right in there now you have a former DA in there looking at those tapes from eastern North Carolina. We've been fighting a long time. We don't have to have folk to come and fight. We've been fighting a long time. It's just the first time that the media is here. But the battles have been long and hard. My father was fighting police killings in Hyde County in the 1970s, 2 counties over. And so, 16 minutes.
16.
Maybe 16.
Yep.
Out of 2 hours.
Yep.
And they're redacting the tape.
Yep.
Now, I understand when something is a matter of national security, you redact the tape, the CIA. But what's a matter of national security here is let us see the whole tape.
The whole tape.
All of it. Family, the lawyers, and the public. That's what needs to happen. That's why they're going in to see the 20 minutes, but they're not settled. And lastly, remember, media, we are calling for the DA, the judge, the sheriff, all of them, inept, incompetent, and incapable of handling this. They all need to be removed. There needs to be. Governor, North Carolina Attorney General, there has to be a special prosecutor. And for those of you all that have been around, they had a special prosecutor for the Duke lacrosse case, and nobody got killed in that case. A girl's spirit was killed and her body was killed, which is horrible. But they're nothing short of a special prosecutor that comes in here with an open, objective, and clean eye to actually look at what happened and let the chips fall
where they may.
Where they may.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Truth, transparency, and accountability.
Yes.
Pastor, you mentioned a few things, but what else are we missing in terms of the media, the journalists here covering this case? Anything else?
Well, you know, this judge, this DA, is the DA or the judge, wants to be judge.
DA.
The DA
Womble.
is running for Superior Court judge, not Supreme Court, Superior Court judge. And the media, y'all should be a little upset. He played a trick on y'all at first. How many of y'all remember when at the beginning he kept sending the county lawyer out? Did y'all remember that? County lawyer don't have no power.
None.
He was playing a game with you all.
Yeah.
The county lawyer is appointed by the county commissioner. The county lawyer is not the lawyer elected by the people. So he threw the county lawyer out there. A lot of people didn't know, oh, that's the county lawyer. You thought that was the DA. No, that's just the county lawyer appointed. The elected DA has been trying to do everything he can not to deal with this. And could it be because what he really wants to be is judge? Well, if he can't handle this, he doesn't need to be judged.
That's exactly right.
Have you know if the family of the attorneys have had a chance to get a copy of the arrest warrant out of Dare? I know we've been unsuccessful. Maybe some of the others.
Well, I'll let the lawyers answer that. Okay. I think they got some interesting information to give you on that. Okay. Yeah. But what you say? You can't get that's public record.
I know.
What?
Wow.
What? Look,
we're
not surprised in Eastern North Carolina and the South. The media can't get the public record warrant. What media you with? Right here. Now he's from right here. Did y'all hear that? National media. He's from right here.
Yeah.
And he can't get the public record warrant. And he's from right here.
Yeah.
Don't miss what's going on here.
Yep.
It's deeper than you think. Transparency. Accountability. Trust. Nothing less.
Thank you, Prophet. How you doing, Reverend?